So guys, here we go, my first GT7 video. It's going to be 4 races I did the other evening. As you can see, race B, daily race B. We're in the GOAT car, I'd say. I think everyone uses this car. It seems to be the quickest car here. So, but as I said, it's just 4 races I've sort of compiled together. Starting at the front on every race, which I was shocked at. But we are starting to get a rating up, so I presume in time we will get into lobbies with quicker drivers. But yeah, so the mentality was starting, obviously I was worried because I have been in a few of these races already and worried about getting lunged. I think they do like a good lunge, a good send from miles back on GT7, as I'm finding out. So the aim was to get a good start. Obviously being the same car behind, it's easier because the slipstream isn't as powerful. So yeah, we got going and I've sort of perfected the art of sort of turning in sharpish. Obviously we slide a little bit here, but it wasn't too bad. As you can see on the radar, we're still in the lead, and that was sort of like the main objective almost. It was get around the first corner without getting sort of pushed wide or lunged or whatever, and then it's a lot more difficult for the cars to sort of overtake you here unless they're sort of like obviously super quick sort of compared to me. And sort of like know the lines and everything else. So by this stage we're up by 3 attempts, which is great. We want to try and break the toe. I think on this is that you've got to be over a second, and the toe is actually quite powerful on this game, as I'm finding out. So a lot more powerful than ACC. But yeah, so we got a good exit. Obviously we're keeping a close eye on the time, so we're sort of half a second. But it looks like the guy got a slightly, and I mean slightly better exit. So we're coming outside, and obviously I'm aware that he's here. I'm aware that obviously, yeah, he's going to probably send it, which he does. But I don't know if it's unfortunate or fortunate for me, but he sends it and then sort of pulls out at the last minute to sort of overtake me and just clips the back end, which then obviously puts him back in the pack, as you can see. So we're going to go to the Mustang, and it's, yeah, very close then. So he's made the mistake. I've obviously, yeah, capitalised from it, fortunately enough, and then yeah, it gets all these guys together, and so coming into T1 for the second lap, all hell breaks loose. And to be honest, I am so close. As you can see, the Alpha almost collects me, and I actually felt a tap on the back, and yeah, as you can see there with the RM at the bottom of the sort of graphic of the car, I've actually got rear end damage because of it. So he just grazed my back bumper. I mean, any more and it would have sent me wide or spammed me out and everything else. So again, fortunate for me, yeah, I come away with it pretty much unscathed. But yeah, it just all because the guy sort of sent it late on the brakes, obviously pulled out too late, tapped the back of me, and then it sort of escalated into that. But again, as I said, fortunate for me, I get away, and that was pretty much it then. From then on, you can see it's what, 2.7 is the gap. Don't have to worry about anyone sort of lunging from this range unless they're actually intentionally sending it like a torpedo into the back of me. But I mean, fortunate for me, I've got another brick behind me, so yeah, it was sort of like pressure off. I could then sort of run my own race, take the corners as I needed to take them. I mean, you can see now I'm 2.9, almost up to 3 seconds. There you go. So yeah, job done. As I said, starting pole, getting through the first corner was key. We'll just run it on now to the outside view. This is the last lap, or the final. So, and we crossed the line in first. Happy days. So as you can see, yeah, great. This I like. I don't like the sort of minute and a half waiting to get to this stage where everyone finishing the race and you can't do anything. But yeah, I do like this little sort of part of it. It's just a nice little touch to see. And obviously, yeah, you've come first. Obviously, yeah, pole position, fastest lap. Not clean race, because I'm sure I had a penalty or two halfway through, even though I was comfortable. But yeah, so then we went into quali. I knew that I had a couple of attempts in me. Obviously 33.1 isn't a bad time, it's quite a respectable time, but I just knew that I had a little bit left in the tank. Obviously I'd watched a YouTube video on the track and the car combination before, and it was this section here that it sort of showed what I was sort of missing or what I was doing wrong. So I sort of done a few laps and yeah, sort of perfected it, so to speak, got quicker. As you can see, obviously the ghost is me of the 33.1. So yeah, but I come down here, I just grazed the wall slightly, so I don't know whether I've obviously scrubbed off some time now. I'm not 100% sure. Obviously we won't know until we get to the timing beam for sector 3, which is coming up just out obviously the other end of the bridge. So 58.1, so yeah, we were up at that stage. Yeah, so it was pretty much last corner, had to take it correctly, hard on the brakes, drop it down to second, take the apex on the inside, and then yeah, just accelerate and go. Obviously I didn't know, I knew I was up, I didn't know what obviously the time I was getting, but I was also aware, if you see, because matchmaking will start in 10 seconds, and I was like, come on, we can make it, come on, just get over the line, can we just get over the line and register the time, and it'll be, yeah, fantastic. So we just got over in a second, and yeah, a 32.8, absolutely fantastic. I was, yeah, over the moon with that, and I thought, right, okay, so we're progressing up in the lobbies, we're getting quicker drivers, I mean, that'll help us. But yeah, lo and behold, in the second race, straight after the qualifying, we're still a 33.1. Now, it tells me it didn't register. It didn't register the lap because we crossed the line with like a second or 0 seconds to go. So I'm thinking, well, hang on, is it not registered that completely? Do I have to go and do that lap again? I don't know, but focus was back on the race. I mean, we had a Sylvia behind us, I think it was, this time, which I was worried about that would have been quicker on acceleration than the Subaru. So like I said, again, it was pressure. It was right, we need to get into this first corner. Before this guy, trying not to get him to lunge. So we're on the inside with this guy, just to see sort of what I do. And I almost, sort of watching it back, it was like I took him sort of unawares. I'm sort of like jinked quite, not violently, but I mean, some of the races I've seen, well, I do it, and I have sort of come across really sharply, almost taken the driver behind unawares that, yeah, I've already crossed over. Whether they think that I'm going to sort of stay to the right a lot more, and then sort of like come over sort of more calmer, I don't know, and it almost sort of takes them unawares, but that's what I felt I needed to do to stay in the lead. So as I said, we're in the lead, which is great, and we're already up to 1.2 again. So whether the guy behind has had a mishap or I don't know, but as I said, at this stage I'm just concentrating on my race. It's like, right, get every apex, get on the throttle, don't miss a gear, I mean, don't make a mistake. So I'm already out of slipstream, look, 1.4 up, 1.5, I'm thinking jobs are good, and again I've done it again. I've yeah, started pole, got into the first corner first, and I'm away. So yeah, it was just job done in one lap. That was the whole thing. It was, yeah, no, it wasn't, it was still fun, don't get me wrong. I still enjoyed it. You still had to finish the race, you still, yeah, had to not make mistakes and everything else, but obviously it does help being on pole, it really does. And as long as you can get, yeah, into the first corner first, and it's also a short run, so yeah, it makes it easy. This is me showboating a little bit, but that was it again. Like I said, we sped up there to the last lap, and I won't bore you with the whole race. So yeah, on to race 3, and yeah, to my surprise, well, great surprise, we had the 32.8, so it had actually registered it, but obviously not for that race. So again, same scenario. This time we had a Corvette, I think, behind us. So I'm thinking, well, Corvette's going to be quick on the straight. So again, it's right, get in, get the first corner correct, and hopefully we can sort of get him round the twisties, pull enough of a gap before to sort of back straight, and yeah, away we go. So starting off again, and again we're away. Good gear changes, like I said, not missing a gear. Spotting the sort of braking point. Isn't really a braking point into T1, to be fair, because you're not going flat out like you would if you're starting a flying lap. So sometimes it can be difficult, sometimes you can sort of overshoot it. But yeah, we've done it again. We've made it into T1 in first. Guy's still only 4 temps now behind us. Obviously the Corvette maybe not the best round the twisters, I don't know, but he's still there, to be fair. So I'm thinking, okay, we might have a race here. So obviously the next thing is to try and, yeah, put the corners together, get down to this and get a good exit out of this next corner onto the straight. But yeah, by this stage I was 8 temps. It was like, right, get a good corner, get round. And yeah, pretty much spot on. As you can see then, I'm up to a second again. It's just, yeah, job done again. I think you're sort of out of lunge range, sending it range by that stage. I mean, 1.3, it's just, yeah, job's almost done. Obviously you've still got to see it home. You've got to do the 5 laps. You can't like let off the throttle almost. Well, depending if what the sort of overall time you get, yeah, you can then maybe sort of let off. But as you can see, I've fast forwarded again to lap 5. I'm 6 and a bit seconds, and yeah, again from pole to finish, just, yeah, done and dusted at the end of the day. But yeah, on to the last race. 1/10 this time between the sort of top 1 and 2, me and the second guy, so I knew I might have had my work cut out with this one. Yeah, by this stage I've sort of perfected to a point that the sort of start, not overshooting the sort of revs or yeah, making sure I change at the right points and everything else. As I said before, it's just makes it a lot easier. It's not a long run into T1, so you're not going to get slipstreamed as much, depending if, well, you do if it's a quicker car off the launch kind of thing, but then they seem to struggle around the twisties, so yeah, respectful. Got a bit out of shape this time. Yeah, we're riding on with P2, but yeah, we still collect it up and we still managed to get into T1 in first position, which was the key. That's yeah, exactly what I needed to do. Obviously you can see me taking maximum track, sliding it around. I don't think the guy in this car's as confident through here. Yeah, it just doesn't seem. I mean, I was like literally, yeah, sending it at the end of the day to try and get that gap before we get into the back straight. So coming down the hill, as you can see me, again taking the grass, slamming on the anchors, getting round. It was actually a pretty good corner. He's cut quite a bit of that corner, to be fair. And I think by this stage I'm probably just over a second up again and out of slipstream range, and yeah, I'm gone, so to speak. So yeah, I'd sort of almost perfected the art of the first lap. Obviously I think it's going to be a completely different ball game once I'm not starting first. If I'm starting a couple of places down or second or whatever, you're sort of in the pack and you're in the slipstream range, you're in the lunge range, as they love to seem to do on GT7. So, but yeah, while I was had the benefit of running in pole, I tried to make the most of it the best I can. Obviously winning races, staying clean, pole position, it's, yeah, you're going to up your rate in your level just a lot quicker, it seems, in this game. I think we're up to B and S for safety, which I think is the highest as far as I'm aware, and obviously B for driver rating, so we've only got A and A+ to go. So obviously I know it's going to get harder from here. That's just, yeah, nature of the beast at the end of the day. I'm going to come up against obviously drivers probably around my level and quicker. As I said, I think this is when it's going to get interesting. The game's going to then, from my perspective, I am enjoying the game immensely, but it's always nice to win. It's always nice to be pole. It's always nice to have a clean race, no instant issues. But I think once we get in with the bigger boys, the boys around my pace, if I can get up to an A+ or an A rating, that's when I'll be able to give my thoughts on the game and how the game sort of plays. Obviously I give you the thoughts on the actual game itself. I'm enjoying the game. The physics don't seem too bad. It's sort of a bit like Project Cars 2-esque. Physics are different compared to Project Cars 2, but the actual sort of like tracks, I mean the loads of tracks, loads of different manufacturers of cars and everything else, not just GT3. So, but as far as the sort of racing, I haven't really had any sort of like major racing yet. So, as I said, we'll definitely give my opinion on that. But yeah, that's it. 4 races, 4 wins, 4 poles. I said give us a massive boost in stats, getting our ratings up. And yeah, like I said, hopefully onwards and upwards from here. Hopefully it'll be racing with quicker drivers, and there'll be more sort of tussling and fighting and everything else. But yeah, anyway guys, like I said, take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.